Do you think AI can be, a silver bullet, kind of in the, marketing, starting from,
It
client
already is.
acquisition?
It's just that the big boys are using it. It's like when you're doing a meta, anything about meta, you've seen it. You stay on one image 2 seconds longer than normal. You get bombarded in 15 different directions. Anything relates to that one image or message or ad that you saw. So that just basically tells you the AI just read where you are, who you are, what demographic you are, what location you are, and now they're just gonna get you to buy something. Hello, everyone. This is Hamid Kohan, CEO of LawPractice.ai, and thank you for joining us today. I'm very happy to have one of our partners and colleagues with us today, Igor from Smart Advocate. Hello, Igor. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Hamid. Thank you.
It's nice seeing you again.
Good seeing you.
So if you could, for the folks, explain a little bit about the Smart Advocate and what you guys do and so forth, so they get familiar with the company.
Sure. I'm Igor Selizhuk. I'm a CTO of Smart Advocate, and I've been with Smart Advocate for almost 15 years at this point. So Smart Advocate is a case management system for law firms, right? So essentially, it provides a tool for the law firm to manage all their cases, and it's really for the whole life of the case, from the intake, dealing with leads, and then retaining the case, doing all the case works, pre-litigation, litigation, settlement, and closing the case and getting the settlement. The purpose of Smart Advocates was really to build the single tool for a law firm. Not to say that we're trying to do everything, but the core functionality, right? It's a case management, it's an intake, reporting, automation, document management, and nowadays even including AI functionality.
Sure. For those folks who are essentially in the process of evaluating their own case management software they're using, or making a switch, or selecting a new one, what is the biggest differentiator between the Smart Advocate that you guys more specialize with than other providers?
One of the differentiators, I would say, that Smart Advocate was built from scratch, right? There are some products there which are built on top of, CRMs like the Salesforce, for example. So not all of them, right? But there are some. So Smart Advocate was built from scratch. So we completely built the system from ground up with, attorneys and paralegals in mind. Also, another advantage, even though Smart Advocate is pretty configurable and customizable system, we still kind of have a focus. Our primarily clients are plaintiff side law firms, so personal injury, mass tort firms, social security, disability, veterans affairs, so mostly plaintiff side. So, and as a result, like we have very rich functionality for this type of law firms.
I see. Okay, great. Thank you. So I want to jump right into it. As far as we mentioned, the hottest topic of the legal industry is the AI. And just for those folks that are not familiar as much about the law practice that AI, because a lot of people might know me as the CEO of LegalSoft. Law practice AI came to market about a year ago on identifying all the AI needs of law firms, including the CRMs, that can take, like Igor was talking about, from initial, client generations to intake, document collections, document summaries, demands, and everything else that is purely AI. So it doesn't infringe on the case management software that helps manage the case. It basically expedites the process while people are equipped to use the AI, to use the CRMs more efficiently or faster, better, whatever. So that's our mission. And we have a few product releases that we're happy to work with Smart Advocate to have a collaboration going on where we can empower the client, not only from a powerful CRM, also AI enabled, to be able to make it the most advanced technology to be used for plaintiff type cases. So starting with that, what have you seen and what's going on with the AI in your CRM world?
You probably know, right? What, about 2 years ago, a little bit early, AI, became very popular, and I think everyone started trying to see, how AI can be used in legal industry, right? In the legal CRMs, and more generally, AI. You're seeing it everywhere, right? We're going to events, to shows, and all the vendors, like, I'm pretty much not kidding. It's either, the vendor is a pure AI vendor, right? We're doing AI this, AI that. And then if the vendor is a not AI vendor, like if they're doing medical records, it's going to be medical records with AI, intake with AI, and, whatever we added AI to this,
Yeah, even the coffee shop has an AI on
Yeah,
it
the
now.
coffee shop will
It's
do
an
the,
AI coffee.
AI coffee for you, because, they'll figure out, what's the right coffee for you based on your face, right?
I know.
So like everyone is doing AI everything. But, on a serious note, right, there are, companies like, Law Practice AI. There are people who, took it seriously, invested resources and developed good products for specific needs, right? One of the most popular ones would be demand generation, right? That's a lot of people doing that now, analyzing medical records, creating summaries, or analyzing documents in general, or analyzing deposition documents, analyzing case in general, etc. So there are a lot of people building interesting products using AI, trying to help attorneys and paralegals in legal industry.
Right, exactly. I think it is extremely confusing for the average attorneys who are supposed to operate the law practice, understanding all the communication systems, CRMs, and lead management solutions. It wasn't enough. Now the AI jumped right in the middle of it. So I'm sure they're going to need tons of help and guidance on how to choose the right one, how to set it up properly, and how to use it properly. So as like you said, we were exhibiting 5 different conferences in the past 4 months, and doesn't matter what kind of conference it was, there's all AI, and attorneys walking around thinking like, wow, is the AI taking over the whole industry? So we're trying to simplify that for them. Being on the legal side originally, not just being a tech AI company, from the legal soft perspective, working with the thousands of law firms, but we understand what's possible to be implemented in the firms and what is not. But with the tech ability, we can actually understand what is needed and what is fluff and what is real, because I think we both agree that probably 60, maybe even 70% of the AI solutions are just a fluff, which is a wrapper on the ChatGPT, and it says basically it's a ChatGPT and just made it nicer and easier to use. So we're sorting through that and being able to partner up with other companies where we can create an AI solution for the firms that is really beneficial for them. I know we're talking about integrating with ours and creating a more of an AI focus platform. Have you started using any of the AIs on your intake or document collection or doc analysis?
So, as a, smart advocate, as we were looking at AI, right, we kind of checked, what's happening, right, what's going on, what people need. And at this point, kind of, we made a strategic decision to, have AI as part of Smart Advocate, but at the same time, we're a case management system, right? We are not trying to compete with a pure AI company, let's call it this way, right? Who are, sole purpose to, build an AI product to, analyze documents, do this, do that. We are keeping our focus on the case management, right? Just like we, wouldn't compete with, Microsoft Outlook, right? We're not building, even though we integrate with emails, right? We're not building our Microsoft Word or Outlook. We're not competing with medical retrieval services, even though like that's a lot of our clients use it. So with AI, we essentially that was our decision. We're not trying to compete with companies who focus on AI. At the same time, we did want to provide at least some AI capabilities to our clients without them having to go to a third party. So that's what we actually did, and we are continuing doing that. We work with partners to integrate demand generation, document summarization, document categorization, and all other things through third-party integration. And to the end user, at the end of the day, if they can use it through Smart Advocate, right? If they can use it efficiently, they really not necessarily care if Smart Advocate build it or a partner build it, right? But that being said, we also introduced AI within Smart Advocate, where not at the same level, but I think still, very useful because, as you mentioned, like ChatGPT, right? You can, you're writing an email, you can copy paste into ChatGPT, and you can copy paste it back. But A, it's inconvenient. B, it's also not secure, right? Whatever you do with ChatGPT theoretically can be used for training of AI models, and it can get leaked. So what we did, we built in AI, which allows you to rewrite an email, right there in Smart Advocate. I can write a short email, and I can ask, hey, make it sound more professional, or maybe other way around, right? Dumb it down and make it more understandable. Whatever prompt you can come up with, we made it configurable by admins, right? So people can use AI when they're writing emails, when they're adding notes. We also added ability to summarize single document, right? Again, not trying to compete with companies who load every single document from a case and will do great things with it. This is more like focused on, hey, maybe I got a document in Spanish. Hey, I can ask AI to translate it. Maybe I got a large document, I want a quick summary. I can ask AI to do a summary of this document. And a few other, functions like that.
What's the most common request you have from folks, your users, about the AI? What is the most requested feature or function or capability that you have heard so far?
I'll give you, kind of an interesting answer. The most common request we got was, we want AI. That I mean, it's coming from maybe a year or a little bit more ago. When AI started gaining popularity, people started asking for AI without knowing what exactly they want AI to do. That was by far the most popular request. Right now, the really. I don't think we're getting very specific requests, right? I think it's more in the area of maybe doing some enhancements, right? Take really large document, I want to make sure the whole document gets analyzed, let's make sure that is happening. We did get a request to add AI for images, which that I find very interesting. So one of the for our clients suggested that AI can be used to analyze, and that's mostly applicable for accident scene, analyze the scene, see if there is any code violations for this location, and not a legal advice, but the AI actually does a pretty decent job analyzing images as well. So. But I think the most popular right now is it is a demand, doing AI demands, and I don't know, it could be what people need, and it also could be that a lot of people think that people need. So demands. I think demands and medical records. That's kind of the two most popular topics.
I see. Yeah, pretty much the same thing, but I think pretty soon that's going to change, because that was the buzz. People like Even Up and so forth came to the market and sort of started this whole thing with that demand AI and so forth. But I think that's going to change very rapidly, where people understand, okay, demand was one of my challenges, but I got tons of more challenges. My firms have more challenge on the upfront of generating clients, getting client retentions, targeting the right market for for their advertising and marketing and so forth, and then have a much better conversions from leads to clients and so forth. I think that's going to supersede pretty much everything else, because pretty much in these firms, no client, no case, no settlement, no settlements, no money. So even though even up came in right in the middle of it and start doing that, majority of our focus going to be not that we have all of that they have and more, but going back to the beginning and doing it the way it should have been done, which says, let me start from the beginning of actually getting a client, which we're all in the business, we want clients, and not like we're doing it as a sort of a fun. So how to target your ad spend and your marketing and your messaging and your online presence and so forth with the help of AI, do a lot more laser focused client generation solution. And once you retain them, not need the army to retain a client or talk to them on the phone or follow up with them in emails and texts and all of that, then going into the rest of the process. So our focus on lawpractice.ai is now starting from the beginning. Like, I need 100 clients this month and I don't want to spend a lot of money. So what is AI can do for me to get that done? And then once I get that and I got them into a smart advocate system as a matter, then you can help me getting the rest of the work done.
Do you think AI can be, a silver bullet, kind of in the, marketing, starting from,
It
client
already
acquisition?
It's just that the big boys are using it. It's like when you're doing a meta, anything about meta, you've seen it. You stay on one image 2 seconds longer than normal. You get bombarded in 15 different directions. Anything relates to that one image or message or ad that you saw. So that just basically tells you the AI just read where you are, who you are, what demographic you are, what location you are, and now they're just going to get you to buy something. So the technology has been there already for a long time. It's just that it wasn't available to the average businesses. It was basically used by big companies that they have a huge, tech capabilities and so forth. Now is basically being available to average profession. My background in Silicon Valley was 20 years of data management, data warehousing, decision support, which is basically translate all of it to AI anyway, but there was no system doing it. There was a bunch of developers and people with algorithms and so forth that they were acting like AI. So we could target things even 30 years ago pretty precisely to who to talk to, what message and what type of formats and everything. Now it's just pretty simple. You just point and shoot and it gets there. So we know the capabilities there. We know the technology is there. We're just using our legal expertise and the marketing expertise to combine it. Like when I started the LegalSoft, the message was when law meets tech or tech meets law. It was basically, I was a marriage of the tech and the law. So they finally got married in my perspective. So now we can actually, start having kids with it. It's definitely doable. We're already doing it. We're already doing AI intake that is specific to the practice type. So let's say you have a consumer client, consumer protection. We can do a full-on AI and you won't even know that you're not talking to a real person. It's so natural that it's very difficult to differentiate.
Oh, yep. And that one, this one I've seen, and I think people, at least in the beginning, now they're looking at this more for the like overflow, right? During off hours, or if your intake is busy. But what you're saying, it sounds to me like, do you believe that intake can be, soon replaced by AI completely?
No, nothing. Okay, so this is the biggest misperception. Nothing is completely wiped with AI. AI is here to help, to enhance, to expedite, to speed up, to make it more efficient, less costly, all of that. But it's not like, okay, we can just now go get rid of 50 people tomorrow in the law firm and just plug into AI into it. And that's not how it works. It's misrepresented. It's supposed to be help you, just like any of the Microsoft offices, or even like people like a Smart Advocate, I'm sure there's hundreds, if not thousands, of law firms that they run a firm with no CRM whatsoever. They use Google Sheets and Google folders and
You
stuff.
know, it still surprises me, but you're right. Yeah, there
And
are
they made
still
a lot of
firms
money,
who, who do that.
making money, but CRMs like yours or others are just helping them. It doesn't mean that they can just throw away everything because they got a Smart Advocate. No, it just makes it faster, better, more accurate.
You're right, and I didn't mean like completely replace intake, but what I was curious if you think like handling the initial call to law firm, right? What I've seen and being advertised, there are AI companies that do, hey, we'll take your overflow, we'll during off hours, we'll have AI answer your call, collect the information, and generate the lead, right? Do you think that even during business hours, right? Normally, right now, there is an intake department, right? And they picking up the phone calls. Do you think it makes sense for AI to pick up this initial call?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I have a firm that it generates about 250 leads a day. Okay, so these are raw leads. They need to be screened to become qualified leads. Okay, it's pretty expensive to put a high-skilled person on these calls. Imagine 250 leads a day adds up really quick, right? But we just screen them to basically knock off 70% of them that are just not qualified. They're just a wrong call for wrong purpose, for the wrong thing, whatever. AI can do that perfectly because it asks certain qualifier questions, checks it against the history, asks some follow-up questions, and qualified or disqualifies the lead. So I don't need a live agent to do that anymore. So out of that 250, now I got only like 75 that are qualified leads still. Now, getting a hold of them and then having the initial conversation again and see if they're still looking for representation, all of that still can be done with the AI. Get it to the point that they are ready to basically talk serious and sign a retainer. I can now, my AI will be skillful enough to escalate it right away and say, hey, John, I got a client on the phone that is screened, pre-qualified, ready to go. Please take over. Boom. I come on the call. I sign the client. Very scalable. So that's how the AI would work on the intake. It's going to be on that sequence, and it needs to be smart enough to know what's the variance within the answers are, understand the demographics, emotions on the call, all of this other stuff. So it can be robotic. So if somebody is actually expressing personal, grief or personal pain and suffering or whatever, they can be engaging. It needs to be engaging and it cannot be robotic.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's what our AI intake is designed to do.
Sounds interesting. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get to work together on the several of this and integrate whatever it brings value to your clients and Smart Advocate and be able to combine our resources and expertise to create the best solution for the plaintiff firms who want to have an affordable, functional CRM that is enhanced with the AI technology.
Well, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, with intake, with AI handling with this initial call, we have APIs which allow to push the data that collected by AI, or there's similar integrations, right? If you have a form on the website, but same thing. What people want, they do want, once this information is collected, to have it pushed into CRM, so you have your lead, and then you can continue, following up, sending emails, maybe text messages, or calling them back.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Igor, it was a pleasure speaking with you again, and hopefully our next conversation going to be about how this solution actually got implemented and how the clients are benefiting from it, and any feedback and so forth for us to continue enhancing our both technologies and the platforms.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you, Hamid.
All right, thank you.